Halloween. The one night of the year when everyone's inner chaos comes out to play. When people dress up like what they wish they could be: superheroes, villains, demons, angels, vampires, celebrities, you name it. But then, somewhere in the middle of the crowd, a different kind of presence arrives. He doesn't roar for attention. He doesn't dance on tables. He doesn't even post an Instagram story with the caption, #HalloweenVibes. No. He walks in silently, a ghost without a mask. A Sigma male. And suddenly, the room's energy changes. You know the feeling when a movie scene suddenly slows down, the music fades, and you can sense something, or someone, different has just entered the frame? That's exactly what happens when a Sigma male shows up at a Halloween party. Because Halloween is all about pretending. But the Sigma male? He's the only one there who doesn't have to pretend at all. Let's dive deep, and laugh a little, into what really happens when a Sigma male shows up at a Halloween party. It's mysterious, it's funny, and it reveals a lot more about human psychology than you'd think. Number 1. The arrival. When the Sigma walks in, time slows down. Picture this. Everyone's already loud, hyped, and slightly chaotic. The DJ's blasting remixes, people are arguing over costume originality, and there's always that one guy who brought fake blood and way too much energy. Then, the door creaks open. He steps in. No dramatic entrance. No entourage. No shout. Just calm energy wrapped in quiet confidence. He doesn't need to announce his arrival, the atmosphere does that for him. Some people immediately notice. They pause mid-laugh. The girls near the kitchen look up from their drinks. Even the overconfident guy in the Batman costume suddenly feels like a side character. There's something strange about the Sigma's vibe, like he doesn't belong, but also somehow fits perfectly. He's wearing something minimal. Maybe a simple black outfit, no flashy mask, no desperate attempt to stand out. Ironically, that's what makes him stand out the most. Because while everyone else is dressed as something fake, he's just himself. And that authenticity hits people like a mystery they can't solve. They whisper, "Who's that guy? Did he come alone? Why does he look like he's in a movie scene?" He doesn't speak much, he observes. Every laugh, every mask, every little performance, he sees right through it. And in that moment, the Halloween party transforms into a live experiment in human behavior. For him, it's not just a party. It's data. Number 2. The energy shift, from loud chaos to subtle curiosity. Something unexplainable starts to happen just a few minutes after he arrives. Before the Sigma male stepped in, the party was pure chaos, a storm of laughter, shouting, flashing lights, and people competing for attention like it was a contest. The music was deafening, the energy frantic, the conversations shallow but constant. Everyone was trying to be seen, trying to outshine each other, the loudest costume, the wildest dance move, the best social story for tomorrow's post. But when he walks in, the atmosphere doesn't just shift, it recalibrates. He doesn't say a word. He doesn't force a smile or announce his presence. He just enters, quietly scanning the room with that calm, unreadable expression that doesn't seek or reject attention, it simply exists. And somehow, that stillness starts to spread. At first, people can't quite put their finger on it. The energy that was chaotic a few minutes ago suddenly feels different. The noise is still there, but it doesn't feel as dominant. There's an odd stillness beneath it, like the air itself has become heavier with awareness. Some people begin to notice him but don't understand why they're drawn to look. The loud guys, sensing something they can't name, start to talk louder, almost as if they're subconsciously trying to reclaim the energy that just slipped out of their control. Some of the more observant ones start whispering to each other, curious about who this quiet stranger is. Then there are the women, pretending not to notice, acting disinterested, yet their eyes keep drifting in his direction. There's something about the way he carries himself, grounded, centered, detached. No showmanship, no false confidence, just presence. It's unsettling for some and magnetic for others. He isn't performing. He isn't competing. He's just being. And that, ironically, makes everyone else question themselves. People start adjusting their clothes, rethinking their jokes, or wondering if they're trying too hard. The Sigma's calm presence acts like a mirror, not reflecting what people want to be, but showing them what they're pretending to be. In psychology, this phenomenon is known as psychological contrast. When someone breaks the expected social pattern, our brains can't help but focus on them. The Sigma male doesn't follow the social rhythm, he disrupts it, quietly and powerfully, just by existing in his own frequency. He stands apart not because he's trying to, but because he can't be anything other than himself. And that's the paradox that draws everyone in. At a Halloween party full of masks, the man who doesn't wear one becomes the most mysterious presence in the entire room. He doesn't join the performance, he rewrites it simply by showing up. Number 3, the conversations. Everyone wants to decode him. Eventually, people try to talk to him. Not out of politeness, out of curiosity. Someone might say, "Dude, your costume is just black. What are you supposed to be?" He smirks and replies, "I'm myself." That's scary enough. Boom. The crowd laughs, but they feel something deeper. Because under the humor, there's truth. He doesn't play their game. He doesn't fake interest in shallow gossip. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does speak, his words carry weight. Women are drawn to that. Men are puzzled by it. Everyone else just wants to figure him out. The conversations become subtle interviews. They ask where he's from, what he does, why he came alone, what he thinks of the party. And no matter how much they ask, they never get the full story. That's part of the Sigma's charm. He's like a movie you can never fully understand, and the ending changes every time you rewatch it. His mystery isn't an act, it's who he is. Because while most people are trying to be seen, the Sigma is trying to see, to understand people's motives, insecurities, and masks. And Halloween gives him the perfect setting for that. After all, everyone's wearing one, some literal, some emotional. Number 4. The silent observations, reading people like open books. While everyone else is caught in the noise, the Sigma male is in observation mode. He notices the fake laughter, the forced flirting, the quiet girl by the wall pretending to text so she doesn't look awkward. He sees the confident guy in the Iron Man suit who's secretly terrified of being ignored. He sees the couples pretending to be happy while barely making eye contact. He doesn't judge, he just sees. That's the funny part. Everyone thinks they're hiding behind a mask, but in his presence, it's like the masks become transparent. He reads energy, body language, and tone. To him, a Halloween party is like walking through an emotional art gallery. Every face, every gesture, every outfit tells a story. Sometimes, people feel uncomfortable around him, as if he can see right through their act. And honestly, he probably can. It's not magic, it's awareness. The Sigma male's natural detachment gives him a sharper eye. He's not emotionally caught in the noise, so he notices the subtle things everyone else misses. And that's why some people find him intimidating, not because he's loud, but because he sees too much. Number 5. The unexpected magnetism, when mystery becomes the main attraction. By the middle of the night, something fascinating happens. People start orbiting around him. Not in an obvious way, but you can feel it. He's standing quietly by the balcony or leaning against the wall, drink in hand, observing. And somehow, a few people always end up next to him, trying to start a conversation, making excuses to stay near him, or even copying his calm posture. He doesn't try to attract attention, yet attention naturally flows his way. Because mystery is magnetic. And silence is louder than noise. While everyone else burns their energy trying to be noticed, the Sigma's stillness becomes its own kind of power. Some women find it irresistible, the calm danger, the quiet self-control, the unpredictability. Some men respect it but also feel uneasy, like they're in the presence of someone who doesn't need validation to exist. And that's the difference. The Sigma male's presence is not a performance, it's a statement. He doesn't need to act cool. He just is. And in a world of artificial behavior, that's pure rebellion. By now, even the loudest extrovert senses it. This guy's different. No costume. No show. No need to belong. Just power in silence. And everyone feels it, even if they can't explain why. Number 6. The departure, leaving without saying goodbye. Every story has a beginning, a climax, and an ending. And just like his entrance, the Sigma male's exit is quiet, almost cinematic. He doesn't make a scene, doesn't announce he's leaving, doesn't collect validation from goodbyes. He simply fades out of the background, slipping away as smoothly as he arrived. One moment he's there, the next, he's gone. People realize it too late. Hey, where'd that guy go? He was just here a minute ago. No one saw him leave, and yet they all feel his absence. Because the Sigma male leaves more than just an impression, he leaves a frequency. Something in the air shifts. The noise creeps back in. The masks go back up. But a few people, the ones who noticed him, can't stop thinking about him. Who was he? Why did he come alone? Why did he feel like a character from another world? They'll talk about it the next day. Some will romanticize it. Some will invent stories. But deep down, they'll all sense the truth. He didn't come to impress. He came to observe the play. And once he'd seen enough, he disappeared like a shadow at sunrise. Number 7. The aftermath, when the party starts talking about him. The night is over. The lights have dimmed, the music has stopped, and the last few guests have stumbled home. Costumes lie in tangled heaps on the floor, makeup is smeared across bathroom mirrors, and the once lively party house now hums with a quiet, hungover kind of stillness. But even as the physical traces of the night begin to fade, something intangible lingers in the air, a strange curiosity, an unfinished question that nobody seems able to shake. Because while most people are waking up trying to remember who kissed who or which drink hit the hardest, everyone, somehow, keeps thinking about the same person. Not the guy who danced on tables. Not the girl who wore the wildest costume. Not even the host who tried too hard to make the night memorable. No, they're all talking about him. The quiet guy. The one in black. The one who barely said a word yet somehow felt like he was running the show from the shadows. He didn't shout, he didn't perform, he didn't even seem like he was trying to be noticed, and that's exactly why nobody can stop talking about him now. Over group chats and coffee tables, the conversation begins. Who was that guy in black? Someone asks. Did anyone even get his name? Another chimes in. Someone swears he came alone, another insists he arrived with a couple of people who disappeared early. He didn't even check his phone once, someone laughs. Was he meditating or something? Others start spinning theories. Maybe he's a writer, maybe a psychologist, maybe he's just socially superior to the rest of them. The funny part is, none of them really know. But that doesn't stop them from guessing. The Sigma male has no idea, of course, that he's become the quiet center of their post-party gossip. He didn't leave an Instagram handle, didn't join a group picture, didn't post a single story. And yet his presence has outlived every selfie taken that night. He's now the party's favorite mystery, a puzzle people didn't realize they wanted to solve until after he was gone. Some think he's mysterious, others think he's cold, and a few even think he's brilliant. But underneath all those theories lies one universal truth that everyone feels but no one says aloud: he was different. And that difference sticks. It's what separates impressions from imprints. Because while most people spend the night performing to be remembered, the Sigma male simply exists, quietly, authentically, unapologetically, and that's exactly what makes him unforgettable. His energy doesn't scream, it echoes. It's the kind of presence that stays with people, not because it demands attention, but because it reveals something deeper about themselves. He's the person they remember when the lights go out, when the music fades, when the masks come off and the silence of their own thoughts creeps in. It's ironic, really. He didn't chase the spotlight. He didn't try to trend or charm or entertain. He didn't even play the social game everyone else was addicted to that night. And yet, when all was said and done, his shadow loomed larger than anyone else's performance. The people who laughed the loudest, who posted the most, who begged to be noticed, most of them will fade into the background of memory. But the Sigma male? He'll remain as a story, a question, a quiet legend of the night. And that's the paradox of his presence. He didn't come to stand out, but his refusal to blend in made him unforgettable. In a world where everyone's desperate to be seen, he became the one person nobody could forget. He didn't wear the flashiest costume, but he wore something rarer: authenticity. That's what happens when a Sigma male shows up at a Halloween party. He doesn't just leave at the end of the night. He lingers, not in body, but in memory. A mystery that outlives the party itself. Number 8. The ripple effect, when the Sigma's presence starts changing people. Even after the Halloween night fades into memory, something strange begins to happen, something that no one can quite explain. It's as if his quiet energy left an invisible fingerprint on the minds of everyone who was there. Days later, people still catch themselves thinking about him, not in a dramatic or romantic way, but in a deeply curious one. They can't stop replaying small moments from that night: his calm silence in the middle of chaos, the way he looked at people without saying much, or how he seemed completely unaffected by the noise, the crowd, or the pressure to perform. It's unsettling and fascinating at the same time. Some of the loudest people at the party start to question themselves. They remember how much they tried to impress others, how desperate they were to be noticed, and how effortless his presence felt in comparison. The extroverts begin wondering if maybe, just maybe, they rely too much on external energy to feel alive. The women who flirted with him now find themselves wondering why his mystery was more attractive than any compliments they got that night. He didn't chase, didn't flatter, didn't feed their egos, and somehow, that made his silence louder than anyone else's attention. There's something psychologically powerful about someone who doesn't need to be there but chooses to show up anyway. The Sigma male doesn't enter a party to escape reality, he steps into it to study it. While others hide behind masks, he wears none. While others lose themselves in the crowd, he remains fully centered. And that self-possession, that unshakable sense of identity, plants a seed in the minds of those who notice him. It's not jealousy, exactly. It's awareness. The realization that most people live their lives pretending, performing, and chasing acceptance, while he simply exists, unapologetically, quietly, powerfully. And over the next few days, you can almost see the ripple effect spreading. Someone who was once loud starts craving quiet. Someone who was desperate for validation suddenly goes offline for a while. A few start reflecting on their behavior, wondering what it would be like to move through the world with that kind of calm independence. Even the ones who laughed at him feel a subtle tug, because deep down, they know they witnessed something different that night. Something real. That's the hidden power of the Sigma male. He doesn't try to change people, but his presence forces them to confront themselves. He's like a mirror that doesn't speak, but still reveals the truth. When he left the party, he didn't take anything with him, yet he somehow took the illusion away from everyone else. He left behind clarity, reflection, and a quiet challenge, to be authentic in a world built on performance. So while the costumes are gone and the photos are forgotten, the Sigma's essence lingers. People might not remember every joke, every song, or every drink, but they remember how he made them feel. A strange mix of curiosity, respect, and discomfort. The kind of feeling you get when you realize you just met someone who doesn't need the world's permission to exist. And that's the final twist of the story. He never needed the party. The party needed him. Final thoughts. When a Sigma male shows up at a Halloween party, he doesn't just attend, he transforms it. Without saying much, he reminds everyone that authenticity is the rarest costume of all. He exposes how much people rely on masks, not just for Halloween, but for everyday life. His quietness challenges the noise. His detachment reveals people's hidden insecurities. And his mystery awakens something primal: curiosity, attraction, even unease. Because in a world where everyone's trying to play a part, the Sigma male's refusal to play is the real rebellion. He doesn't mock anyone. He doesn't judge. He just mirrors reality, calmly, silently, fearlessly. And when he walks away, people don't remember what he said. They remember how they felt in his presence, exposed, intrigued, and strangely inspired. So next time you're at a Halloween party, pay attention. Among all the masks and fake laughs, you might sense that quiet observer in the corner, the one who doesn't need a costume to stand out. That's the Sigma male. And trust me, he's watching more than you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Sigma male's mysterious Halloween presence, don't forget to subscribe for more deep psychological and philosophical insights into the Sigma mindset. Because while everyone else wears a mask, the Sigma male simply wears truth.